Welcome back, everybody, to the beautiful province of Batangas in the Philippines. My name is Stanley, and with my wife, Jen, we are the Crumbs in the Philippines. Today, we're going to talk about something that you can find a million videos on and a million different viewpoints, and that is a budget in the Philippines and how much money do you need to live here. I'm going to give you my take on it today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. One of the most common themes I see with videos pertaining to retiring in the Philippines is how much does it cost to live there? You see these incredible claims of people that say they can live here on $500 US. Others say $800 US. Others say $1,000. Can I retire on just a Social Security stipend? Well, in a nutshell, the answer to every one of those questions is yes. You can live in the Philippines for $500 a month, provided you're willing to meet all of the requirements to do so. You'd have to live in a studio apartment. You might not be able to pick the location you want to live. And you're going to do without some amenities. You're going to not be able to travel. Probably won't be able to go to bars or drink or smoke or any other vices and still live on $500 a month. Now, if you bump that number up to $800, some of those things you can add in. You could maybe make a trip a year and, eat a little nicer food, live in a little bit larger place, and enjoy a few vices if you're so inclined. Myself, I try to stay away from that stuff and just enjoy a healthy life as much as possible. So today we're going to go through what Jen and I actually spend in a month and then show you how it is possible to live on a very small amount of money in the Philippines. It's a really nice place to live, okay? So the first category we're going to talk about is housing. We're not going to go into too much detail because we made a whole video on housing earlier. Jen and I pay 30,000 pesos a month for housing. And as we go through these categories, you'll notice in parentheses, I did a dollar conversion for you so you can see these totals in US dollars as well. And also bear with me as I'll refer down to my list here so that I don't miss anything or misquote any numbers, depending on my 61, almost 62-year-old memory. Okay, so as far as housing goes, I know people that live inside of this particular subdivision that rent for only 7,500 pesos per month. And Jen and I, for the first year that we lived in this subdivision, paid only 13,000 per month. But as I said, I want to get to that place where there's no housing payment, period. And we're 30 months from doing that. As you'll notice when you see my total at the bottom for this month, you subtract 30,000 pesos from that, and we're living for a very, very small amount of money. Okay? The next category after housing is food, which is our second largest expenditure. And this varies widely among people based on your preferences, whether you're willing to eat local food, whether you have to have those American style foods that you're accustomed to at home, which most of them are available here. You're just going to pay more for them. But if you're willing to acquiesce to the local vegetables and fruits and meats that you can buy here, you can get by very reasonably. And also remember that our numbers include 2 people. And if you were single, you could get by for much less, okay? So our food bill this month is 18,698 pesos. And that includes all supermarkets like the SM Grocery, the Robinson Grocery, the South Supermarket, the wet markets in both Lipa and Ibaan, which is a nice little town about 7 kilometers south of us. We like to go there a lot because it's not nearly as crowded as the market in Lipa. We went to the market in Lipa this morning and bought some fruit and vegetables. But the prices are much cheaper at the wet markets, the open air markets, than they are in the grocery stores. And we buy the majority of our items at the wet markets. Now, the numbers for our food budget also include household items like soap, shampoo, toothpaste, paper towels, cleaning items. I don't break my monthly list down and item by item like that and separate it all. We buy the stuff at the same stores, so we pretty much just keep it all into one category. The 18,000, 19,000, that's a pretty average number for us month to month. If you were a single person, you could probably get that down to at least 10 to 15,000 a month, and that's very, very reasonable. The next category for us is internet. We are kind of at a disadvantage on the internet. We live in a subdivision where the owner of the subdivision is also the owner of an internet company, StreamTech. So believe it or not, since he's the owner, the only internet available in our subdivision is StreamTech. And it's more expensive than the other companies that are you could get outside of the subdivision. Globe and PLDT, they offer faster speeds, fiber, than StreamTech for about half the price. But you know, we need our fiber because we watch all of our TV through the internet. We don't have any subscriptions or any cable or anything like that. And we also upload videos and do a lot of video talking with friends and family back home. So having a good fiber connection is kind of critical for us. Our internet bill this month was 3,162 pesos, and it's the same every month. And we just keep our fingers crossed that PLDT or Globe kind of gets their foot in the door here so we can switch over and pay a reasonable price, which to me, that's still fairly reasonable. In US dollars, that's only $57 a month for 75 Mbps internet. I mean, depending on where you live in the US, that's fairly comparable. The next is our electric bill, which we just received. This is 3 of the hottest months of the year, May, June, and July, are when we experience our highest energy costs because we use the air conditioner intermittently. So this month our electric bill was 3,792 pesos or $69. I kind of laugh whenever I see Jen's face. She looks at the bill and it's very, to her, that's very expensive. And all I do is think back to my electric bills in Missouri, which in the winter were north of $225 a month. And I don't know, it's hard for me to get upset about a $69 light bill. I don't have a problem with that. Now, the other 9 months of the year, our electricity is up between 2,000 pesos and 2,500 a month. And that's just cheap. I mean, that's $40 a month. It's hard to beat that. The next category we have is our water, not the drinking water we're talking about, but the water that comes into the house from outside, or what we would call city water in most places. We don't drink it. We use it for watering the plants, taking a shower, washing dishes, and washing the motorcycle if we ever decide to do that, which I don't see any reason for us to do it. I'll tell you about that at the end of the video. But anyway, our water cost this month was 252 pesos or $5. It's the same every month, as is the same with the next category, our drinking water. We're pretty consistent in its use. We have a refill station right outside of our subdivision. With the guy that works there is a really nice kid. We drop our bottle off in the morning, and within an hour, he's delivered it back to us full. And it's 30 pesos to refill it. It's about looks like a 10 gallon, about a 10-gallon size can for 30 pesos, which is, I mean, go figure, it's like 50 cents. We have to fill the bottle 4 times a month, and it's always the same. So we pay 120 pesos a month for drinking water. The next category for us is restaurants and dining out. And this past month, we spent 1,675 pesos dining out. And we like to eat out quite often, and some months more than others. But if you're willing to eat at local restaurants and you don't need to go to the KFC or the McDonald's or Pizza Hut where you're going to pay American prices, you can eat a meal very, very reasonably. Jen and I just ate lunch today at one of our places that we like quite a bit called King Log. And both of us have a nice meal there with a meat, a cup of rice, and a fried egg over easy. And it's 70 pesos each. So we're getting out of there at 140 pesos for both of us for lunch, because we drink water most of the time with our meals. It's so hot here, you have to keep yourself hydrated and drink a lot of water. But there are just, I would, without exaggeration, I would say 200 to 300 restaurants in just the Lipa City area alone. We never run out of places to go that are new, and we like trying new stuff all of the time. So we're going to share some of that with you. As a matter of fact, we shared one of our very favorite places, Ben Ox, on the previous video. It's a really nice place to eat, but we'll share all the other places as well. There's quite a few and a big variety of food. And now another category that I have is gas for the motorcycle. In this month, we spent 622 pesos on gas. That's very, very reasonable, and one of the main reasons why I drive a motorcycle. And I'll continue to do so as long as I'm able. I can still handle the motorcycle fairly easily. I know as I get older, I might change my mind and have to end up buying a car. But as of now, I just don't have any desire. The price of gas is the lowest it's been in the Philippines since I've been here. And it was 56 pesos per liter at our last fill up. And we burned about 3 liters a week. So you can figure that one out. It's pretty cheap. I haven't actually spoken to anyone that drives a car and asked them how much they spend in gas. I'm sure it's more, but I doubt it's a whole lot more than it is in the United States, because the price of gas there is pretty high right now from what I can see. And then another category that we have to worry about is our cooking gas, or propane. And we usually buy a tank every 3 months. We just bought one 2 days ago. And almost to the day, they last 3 months of everyday cooking use. And it was 900 pesos for the bottle. So if you were going to budget it out, just 300 pesos a month times 3 months, which I don't even add that into my budget. It's just not that much to worry about. And I like cooking with gas, and there's absolutely, I don't think, much of a chance of banning gas stoves in the Philippines. I think President Marcos is pretty fond of cooking with gas, as most Filipinos are. Like 99.9% of the people cook with gas in the Philippines. So that's just maybe a poor attempt at humor, but anyway, it is what it is. And then the last category that I have is immigration, which I don't have any immigration costs at present. I am a permanent resident of the Philippines. I have a permanent resident 13A visa. I had to go through a probationary process, which lasted a year, and that did cost me 11,000 pesos for that year. And then I had to refile again after 1 year, and it cost another 11,000 pesos. But now, that was a permanent visa that I accrued from that. So now the only immigration that I ever have to deal with is once a year. I have to go in for the annual census and say, yes, I'm still here. I'm still living in the Philippines. My address hasn't changed. And I pay 500 pesos, and then that's it until the next year. If you come in on a tourist visa, from the moment you land, you get a stamp. It's good for 30 days. And then at the end of that 30 days, you can extend your visa, and you have to do it periodically. You can do it in 1, 2, 3, up to 6-month chunks. I don't think you can go 6 months the first extension, but eventually you get to where you can extend it every 6 months out to 3 years. Philippines is one of the very, very few countries that are so liberal on their visa policies. It's very friendly to foreigners to come and you could live here on a tourist visa. And after the 3-year period, all you have to do is exit the Philippines and then turn around in 24 hours and come back into the Philippines, get a stamp, and your 3 years starts again. I couldn't tell you the exact price of getting extensions for the visa, but the last time that I was in immigration, which was in January, a 6-month extension, I looked on the board, it was 8,400 pesos. So I mean that's fairly reasonable for immigration fees. You divide that by 6, it's less than $25 a month you're going to save towards your immigration fees. So anyway, that our total expenditures for last month come to 58,621 pesos, or 1,061 pesos. Now I'm going to show you a chart here at the end of the video that shows you what our expenditures were, so you can see those numbers, but also some potential numbers that match up to $500 a month. And it is doable, but it might not be exactly what people want to do. Well, I mean, it's going to be bare bones living, but you will survive. You won't starve to death. You'll have a place to live, and you'll be living in a beautiful country with some of the most friendly people in the world. Some of the videos that I show you, I'm going to showcase the people here, and you will see just how friendly they are to complete strangers. You can walk up and start talking to people, and it's like they've known you their entire life. And safety-wise, I felt way less safe living in the United States than I do living in the Philippines. I've never feared for my safety here in any way, shape, or form. Now, there are some areas of the Philippines that I will stay away from just because there's some not too friendly to foreigner type factions there, but that's very far away from where I live right now. And it's just in a few isolated pockets on some of the outlying islands. Now, just a couple of other things that most people buy from time to time that you don't. This is not going to be included in your monthly budget, but for me, to get my motorcycle washed, for example, we have guys right outside the gate. I take it over and park it and have a seat and drink a soda while they hand wash my motorcycle. They wax it, they armor all the wheels, they dry it off. It looks immaculate when we come out of there. And it's 80 pesos, less than $2 for motorcycle wash. Impressive. Or I ride down to my barber, really friendly kid. He's probably in his 20s. He has hair down to his rear end. But man, he cuts hair nice, and he's very good. And that's 80 pesos as well. That's less than $2 for a haircut. And he trims my eyebrows. He trims my eyelashes. He trims the nose hair. He trims the hair on my ears. He shaves me down to here with a straight razor. Very friendly guy. I know the last haircut I got in the United States cost me $20 or 1,000 plus pesos. And I don't know, 80 pesos is pretty nice for a haircut. And the haircut in the U.S., they didn't offer to trim me up like that. Okay? So the Philippines is a very beautiful country. It's a nice place to live. I hope some of these videos will take some of the anxiety that some of you might feel about moving to a new place and kind of uprooting and starting a new life. And we just want to give you an idea of what's possible and that you can actually get away from that depressing life of where every day you wake up and the politics has just gone completely insane in the USA. And I know that here I could, if I wanted to, go on YouTube and watch Fox News or CNN, and I just choose not to do that because I just get tired of all of the negative stuff that comes out of there. Here, it's just not like that at all. I don't even think about that stuff here. I wake up every day like I'm on vacation. I still feel that way today after almost 2 years. So, I mean, it's a place I would recommend to anybody. And I heard another vlogger say before, I wish I could remember which one it was that the Philippines is a place where you can come to get rich slowly. In the U.S., everyone's rushing to get rich quick. But in the Philippines, you can get rich slowly because every month, even on a retiree's pension, you can be stashing money back in your savings account every month and still living nice and taking vacations. I mean, one of the most expensive vacations that Jen and I have taken was to the island of Boracay, which is an internationally famous tourist destination in the Philippines. Beautiful place. And round trip airfare, 6 nights in a really nice hotel close to the beach, all of our food for those 6 days, and it cost us less than $300. That's including airfare for both of us. That's just amazing. And there are some of the most gorgeous places on God's green earth or in this island archipelago of the Philippines. It's amazing. And it's my goal to go and see every one of the 7,000 plus islands here. I mean, I know I don't have time to do that, but I'm going to see as many of them as I can, and I've already seen a few. Anyway, that's it for this time. You guys have a good one, and as always, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section. And eventually, I'll get an email associated with this account whenever the number of subscribers gets a little bit larger. And we're very, very appreciative to those of you that have subscribed. And if you hadn't, if you might, consider subscribing and watching these videos. They're a lot of fun to make. We enjoy doing it. And I really hope that some of the information might help somebody out there make the decision to get out of that life, that depressing life, and just remake yourself and come over here and rejuvenate yourself. And I promise you, it'll take years. You'll reverse age in years just from the minute you step off the plane. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you later.